Hi everybody, Kerry McElroy here again. I'm again in my best friend's studio in the city of Fall River. It's such a beautiful studio. So we're practicing social distance. Oh my God, Charles, videotaping this man. Thank her so much, Catherine Favali. Today I've got for you a full strength workout. So we're going to be using lots of implements. If you have them at home, great. If you don't, that's okay too. I'm going to show you lots of options. So I'm going to start with a Bozu balance ball. If you don't have that, you can simply run in place, not a problem. Anything to get your heart rate up. We're also going to use some dumbbells. Most people have dumbbells at home. If you don't, plates, cans of corn, jugs of water, whatever it is that you can use to create a little bit of resistance is perfect. I'm also going to use a body pump bar, not the one that I've had all week, but this is a little bit older model. So if you have, most people have a bar and a bench at home that they've gotten somewhere along the line. So that's great. If you don't have a bench, I'm also going to use a bench. You can just be on the floor on a mat. Most people have a yoga mat at home, right, and some dumbbells. So anything I do is fully optional. The last thing I'm going to use is a 20-pound kettlebell for some back pulls. If you don't have a kettlebell at home, simply a dumbbell will work as well. Okay, so I've got lots of toys for you here today, but everything's optional. Okay, we're going to start by warming up a little bit with our Bozu, just stepping on and off this Bozu. Bozu is acronym B-O-S-U, stands for both sides up. So that's creating an element of instability for you, which brings in the glutes, the inner thighs, the lower back, the core, anything that stabilizes us so that we don't trip and fall. We're strong through the core. So I started out with just moving around. Let me get my heart rate up. I'm going to go to the bench and do some chest presses. So, just a little tip here. Always have your bar in front of you. For years as I taught body pump, I've seen people grab their bar from this side and hurt their back. Always place your bar right in front of you so you can pick it right up. And even if you're just on a mat, keep that bar in front of you. Grab it, roll back so you don't hurt the low back. So keep the arms nice and wide. This is a reverse push-up if you want to think of it that way. So bringing the elbows right underneath the wrists, pressing right over that nipple line, pushing forward. You're going to feel this in the upper chest and the shoulders. And again, you could do this for 10, 12 reps, 30 seconds, whatever you want to do. I think I'm counting to 12 here, or 37, I'm not really sure. Okay, so let's come on up. I'm going to add in here, before I head back over to the Bozu, I'm going to add in some flies as well. So I've just got two basic 10-pound dumbbells, 5-pound dumbbells, whatever you have. Not a big deal. Laying back again, starting nice and tall. This time, opening with my elbows and bringing it right back up like you're hugging a nice big tree or a barrel. So again, elbows right in line with the chest. Beautiful. So again, 10, 12 reps, 30 seconds, whatever it is that you want to do. Okay, I'm coming back up. Going to keep myself moving. It's nice to be able to have just a little bit of movement while you're in the middle of a workout, making sure that your heart rate stays always on a strength workout between 75 and 80% of heart rate max. Heart rate max is the number 226 minus your age. And we'll do a little seminar on that maybe next week. Okay, beautiful. My heart rate's coming up. I'm going to do one more set here, and we'll move on to the next round. So sitting back again, let's grab that bar. Lowering slow, just pressing straight. Try to keep a nice healthy bend in the elbows at all times. So you don't want to lock it out. Just bring it up so you always feel a little bit of tension on that upper chest and shoulders. Beautiful. Coming back up. So where are you going to feel that? I always tell people, take your hand, place it right over your heart, just like this. So that is that you're tracing the line of your pectoralis major right there, okay? This side, same thing. So when you're pressing on a chest press or on flies, that's where you should feel it right here. Like people tell me they feel their shoulders alone, probably because you've got your hands real close and your elbows are right underneath your wrist. Try opening the elbows just a little bit and pushing through the palm. You push through the palm. Try it right now. Push through the palm like that and you can feel the chest come into the exercise. Okay, you always want to make sure you're maximizing what you're supposed to be doing and getting all the right muscles. Let's grab dumbbells, get our flies in one last time. And again, I would highly recommend you go around 3 times for each of these, but for the sake of the video and moving through the exercises, we'll just do it twice. How's that? Good deal? Moving the elbows down, opening. Feet are flat on the floor. Here's another thing I see people do all the time, crossing their leg. Try not to cross your leg. You know what that does? It puts your hips in a precarious position. Think about it, right? When you cross your leg, what happens when one hip's higher than the other? You don't want to be lifting a weight when one hip's higher than the other, so keep your both feet flat on the floor. All right, second round of things, we're going to go to some back exercises. So I'm going to start first here, doing some lunges, get my legs in, the big muscles. So I'm going to start on my uneven surface again. So what's happening? I'm going to start with on the floor, so my home base is the floor, not as unstable. I place one foot on the bosu, I kneel at a 90-degree angle with both legs. I come back up, I switch. Not so difficult, maybe it's a little difficult for you, not a big deal if it is. You can always have a broomstick here if you need to. I'm going to do something a little bit more high-powered now. I'm going to use the bosu as my home base. I'm going to start on the bosu and step back for my lunge. Not as easy, because I'm stepping back to the unstable surface, okay? So again, probably 10 to 12 on each side, maybe 30 seconds, whatever you choose. Either way, and if you don't have a bosu at home, just a basic step back lunge is fine too, okay? All right, second thing, we're gonna grab our kettlebell, and I'm gonna put one foot up on my bench. Again, if you don't have the bench or bosu, the floor is fine. Why am I gonna put one foot up? Just to bring the glute in a little bit on the opposite side. Those are the stabilizer muscles. So I'm going to step back into a lunge position, and I'm going to just drop that kettlebell or dumbbell, whatever you have, and pull it right by my side. Now, I can rest my hand on my opposite leg. If I'm in a lunge position with the rear toe up, the left toe up, this is not as easy as it looks. So I'm getting the back and the shoulders while simultaneously working the glutes and my stabilizer muscles. Okay, I'm going to do the other leg on the bosu. Okay, really get some craziness here. So now I've got my stabilizer leg on an unstable surface. So this is really tough. Now I tell clients, if you can't be on that rear toe, it's okay. You can always flatten the foot. You can see that calf. Okay, that's a little bit easier. If you can get on the toe, you're really getting the abs in here. And again, I'm working the back as well. Okay. All right, so back and lunges. Okay. So let us move on to triceps and biceps. I'm just going to grab a quick little piece of little slip of water here. For biceps, I think everyone at home has done biceps before. I'm going to start with my bar, just a little curl. This is my biceps, the body pump bar. Elbows right underneath your shoulders. The key here is to make sure you're swinging the bar. I see people all the time with body pump, one of my clients doing this. That's really not working a lot. You want to keep the elbows underneath the shoulders and swing. Try to keep the pinky, if you got a bar, curled around the bar so you can really feel the bicep engage. Okay? Put that down. Second option, we could get some dumbbells in and do the same thing, okay? So again, I like dumbbells better than a bar, truly. I like the unilateral piece of that. Each bicep has to work separately. If you have shoulders or hips or knees off, you have neck issues, and you've got a bar, what happens is, let me show you. Let's say I have one shoulder higher than the other. Now I place a bar in my hands. One bicep's really picking up the whole load before the other bicep does, even if at all. So that's why it's always nice to have dumbbells as well. Most people have dumbbells at home anyway. If you want to make it a little bit tougher, we can do I wouldn't use the bar on the bosu, but I'd use dumbbells. Dumbbells on the bosu. So now I'm adding a little bit instability to this bicep curl. Okay. Woo! I thought it was cold, but now I'm feeling pretty good. It's cold in here. Awesome. Okay, so now let's get to triceps. So the back of the arm. Ready? It was just to be able the wavers. What happens when I wave and stuff moves? Well, we need to work on that, right? I hate to tell you folks, but it's mostly diet. But other than that, you can work your triceps too. So I want to start by using my bench. What happens if I don't have a bench at home? I'll show you on the floor too. I think I did last week on my deck. I showed you triceps from the ground. Hands right beside you, okay? I'm going to keep my legs kind of at a 90-degree angle, so I'm not using a lot of my body here. Lifting myself up, pushing through the palm again, engaging through the rear of the arm. If you want to add a little bit more, you can get your feet out, you can put a plate on yourself. But the key is not to lift with the hips, it's to lift through the palms. Keep the back nice and close to the bench. Or, again, you can do it from the ground. A little bit tougher, actually. People say, well, you're not moving as much. Yes, but you're staying loaded for a lot longer time, okay? One last one for triceps. I'm gonna sit on my bench. Always good to open up the knees a little bit so that loosens up the low back. Always grab the dumbbell or the plate wide side open. You don't wanna do this because sometimes people don't have that shoulder mobility. So grab it open faced. Keep the elbows nice and tight, dropping toward the base of the neck. And again, just my elbows to my wrist is moving here. Lifting up. Let's see from the front. Am I making bad faces? I'm just kidding. This is a tough workout. All right, so lastly, let's show you some core work, and we're almost done. So we've done about 8 different exercises. You can keep going around, of course. I did try to do 2 sets everything, but you can go around and do 2, 3, 4 sets. Some of you have all day, right? Why not, right? I'm just kidding. All right, so we're going to, what am I doing? I'm writing over there. Bosu planks. We're going to do Bosu planks first. So Bosu, the acronym, as I told you before, stands for both sides up. So we're going to flip it over onto its head and use it to create an element of instability for the plank. So if I were to do a plank on the ground, my palms would be right underneath my shoulders. My head would be nice and neutral. My hips would be in line with my shoulders. Never keep them low. Keep them nice and high. I'd rather see this than this, okay? So you should be able to have lunge right off my back. Now, to make it a little bit harder, I'm going to use an unstable surface. So I'm going to line my chest up right along that fill hole, okay? And here I am, hands on the side of the Bosu, lifting up now, and now, instead of the floor being my home base, I'm on an unstable surface. Whoa! So now my obliques come in big time here. Again, lift the hips, right along the shoulders, neck is nice and neutral, and you can hold for a couple of days here, right? 30 seconds, a minute, whatever. Last one, here's a fun one. One I don't see a lot of people doing. It's called kneeling lean backs. I'm a big fan of flexion, extension, flexion, extension. So if you're chest pressing, now you're gonna do some back moves. If you're crunching, now you're gonna open up and do some lower glutes. Okay, so again, flexion, extension. So you never leave a workout looking like this, okay? So we're gonna start, I got a little plate to the side here, but we're gonna start by simply kneeling, so it's called a kneel lean back. Untuck your toes, lift up to the chest, zip on the core. I'm gonna just bring my hands across my chest, and I'm gonna be nice and tall, lift the chest, and lean back. Tuck the butt a little bit. Push off the toenails, and coming back up. Now, I have real tight hamstring and not a lot of flexion in my back, flexibility in my back rather, so I'm not gonna get back. Some people can get a little further back than I can, not a problem. I can still feel it in my quads and my lower abs. Now, if you wanna make it a little bit tougher, grab a 10-pound plate. Don't keep it low. Keep it up nice and high by your chest, okay? Again, use the toenails, the backs of the feet, nice and tall. Stand up, I can't tell you enough, stand up nice, kneel up nice and tall here. And I can totally feel the quads and the lower abs. All right, that was our strength workout for the day. 8 great exercises. Again, keep going around a couple times. I'm Kerry McElroy, KMcElroy at YMCA.org. If you have any questions, feel free to email me. Have a great day, stay safe, stay home.